What's up, guys? This is Valence Ring here, and I wanted to bring you another video on probably one of the most requested topics that I've been getting lately. And this, of course, is on farm accounts, secondary accounts, and things like that. So I wanted to talk briefly about it. Of course, I do need to put out a disclaimer first, and I'll actually talk a little bit in depth about that before I get into the farm accounts. So please understand that I always want to be following the terms of service of any game that I'm playing, mostly because, especially if I've invested money and time and effort into it, I don't want to lose my account, and I don't want to do anything that would jeopardize it, and I suggest that everyone does the same. So really quick, you can go into the account settings. If you don't know where that is, that's the little plus sign. Hit your settings, and you can go into the help section. In the help section is the terms of service, the privacy policy, contact CS, and fax. So definitely go in here, read the terms of service, and go over it. And anything that you do, make sure that you're following their guidelines. If you're not sure or ever have any questions, contact customer service. Ask them what the best course of action is. Protect your account. If you're just playing casually and you don't really care, well, then that's up to you. Do what you think is best, but I recommend and always following the terms of service. And in no way is this video meant to imply that it's okay to break terms of service or anything else of that nature. So let's get right into it. Other than that, do whatever you do it at your own risk. Just so you know, as far as secondary accounts go, all I can tell you, for the most part, if you do want to set up a second account, you can go into the same place, the little plus sign settings, and you can manage your characters. As you can see here, I'm in State 16 Unity State. That's the first character I ever created. It's my main character. And then, of course, I haven't created a second character under this account, but you are able to do so. However, as you can read right here on the text, it says you can only create one character in each state. Now, obviously, they do this so that people don't necessarily have a bunch of farm accounts, or create some giant alliance of all of themselves, just one person with 10 accounts, and can somehow cheat or beat the system in some way that's unfair to other players. So a lot of this, again, is with that in mind, is that it's all about fair play, what's fair and manageable as a game player for not only yourself, protecting the game, but also other players who may be playing. So if you do go in here, and I'm not going to do it, but just so you know, if you go in here, you can create a new character, and you can pretty much create it in any state that you would like. And then basically you kind of restart the game. You do not lose your main character. You can switch between the two. So if you're kind of at a point and you're kind of bored, or maybe you felt like you made a bunch of mistakes and you're not where you want to be and you want to retry, you can do that. And of course, you can also see right here where it says the estimated launch of the new state, which will be state 173 as of this video, will be launched on the February 17th, 2021 at 2100 local time. Okay, that's local time for me. It'll be different for you, obviously. So at any rate, that's when the new state is coming out, and I would recommend, if you are going to start a new character, start fresh in a brand new state. And the reason for that is because you're going to start at level 0. You're going to have to work your way back up. The tutorial, you're going to have to work back through all of that. You're going to have to redo everything that you've already done to get back up there. And you're going to lose some of the benefits that you get as you get higher up in level. Now, if you're still pretty low level, and like I said, you felt like you made some mistakes and you want to retry, this is definitely a good method to do that. Maybe you played for a little bit, but you were pretty casual and you're getting more into it. And so you're in a state where maybe you're a little bit further behind and you'd like to restart fresh with, the energy that you need to get into that state. In that case, this is a great option for you. Go in, create a new character, join the latest state possible, the newest state possible, so you can get a fresh start with other players also starting off fresh, whether they be new players or old players. All the same, you'll take that knowledge and experience that you have with the game into that new character. Now, because it does say that you can only create one character in each state, I have verified this through another source, but if you do go this method and create a second character under this account, for instance, I'm in state 16. If I create a new character with this tab and then I try to immigrate to state 16 with that character, it will pop up a warning that you're unable to do so because you already have a character in that state. And this is very important because, again, like I said, the game designers are trying to make sure that there's a sense of fair play. I will say this. Let's say, me and my girlfriend are playing the game, or, I'm playing the game and I want my girlfriend to play. And she, maybe doesn't want to use her phone for it. So maybe we're going to share my device. Well, obviously this wouldn't work because we wouldn't be able to play together. So maybe she wants to do that, in which case you can go to accounts, and I might have to block this out, but go into accounts and you can see the account setting. You go into the user center, and in here you're able to switch accounts, and you can switch from a Facebook bound account, Twitter bound account, or Google bound account. And if you go in there and you have two accounts, say on the same device, then you could switch between them and allow someone else, your girlfriend, your kid, maybe you want to manage your child's play and things like that, and maybe help them play, but allow them to have their own account. Then you can do that and create a second account. So that's kind of making sure that you're following the terms of service and creating a secondary account for fair play purposes. If you are interested in creating a secondary account as a farm account, and what I mean by farm account is an account that you open with the express intention of utilizing it as a resource hub for your primary account, or as a backup utility for your primary account. In some ways, this may violate, and I'm not saying that it does, it may violate the terms of service. And that's something that you're going to have to evaluate on your own. If you feel like it violates the terms of service and goes against their fair play policies, then it might not be something that you should do. I do know that, there might be people out there that are doing it, and, I'm not going to speak on that because I'm not those people. But all I can tell you is that if you do that, the main reason for doing a farm account, and I've done that with other games, honestly, that allowed it. Games were like, they didn't care how many accounts you created, and they were all in the same, there was no different servers, it was all the one server. And this is years and years ago. So, a lot of things, game designers have learned over the years, what it maybe isn't quite as fair. But there were games where you might have to have 2 or 3 accounts to really be able to get further ahead down the line. So I would have multiple accounts, and I would use them as farm accounts so that, I would have built up to a certain level in that account, and basically all I would use it for is resource gathering and things like that, and not so much military purposes. And it would kind of just be a side account that I could utilize for boosting resource gathering. And I think that in some cases, a lot of people are looking, because this is such a resource intensive game, for ways in which that they can do that. Like I said, as long as it's fair play and you're not breaking the terms of service and you want to try something like that, then that's your call, and you're going to have to do so at your own risk. I don't recommend doing anything that violates terms of service. So I apologize for kind of, beating that dead horse, but that's an important note that I want to make. Other than that, like I said, if you also have it for storing resources, which is another reason that people do use farm accounts, at least in other games, they'll use another sanctuary. Maybe they shield that one and they use their primary as a war machine, and then they put all their excess resources there, and then when they're ready they transport them back, and that kind of thing. And I've done that in other games, like I said, because it is a useful feature. So I think that's the primary reason people have farm accounts. It is important to note that obviously if you have a second account, for fun or for farming or for whatever the case may be, it is a lot of work. I was interested in starting a second account for my son so that he can play on his time, and of course I can monitor his purchases through one of my other email accounts and things like that. And so in this way I'll be able to monitor what he's doing and use that as a secondary account, and I could still put that account in the state that I'm in so that we can play together when possible with a second device that we have. At any rate, if you're utilizing something like that, just know that, like me helping him out requires time and effort and energy, and you're basically playing two accounts. I'm not so sure, honestly, if it's worth it. And if you're considering a farm account, there are ways in which you can utilize one account, put more time and effort into it, and perhaps gain the same, if not better, rewards than a farm account. So if you see other people doing farm accounts, where basically they're gathering resources and sending them to themselves on another account, maybe you can see some benefit from that. But honestly, I think with the amount of time investment required, smart play, saving resources, and utilizing alliance help can be much more beneficial and require much less time and much less work. So pretty much that's everything, guys. I know a lot of people are asking about it, and maybe I didn't cover or answer the question to the to your expectations, but I do want you to know that in any game that you're playing, you want to make sure that you're following the terms of service, utilizing fair play practices for yourself and other players in the game, and that there are alternative ways outside of farm accounts to boost your resource production and to boost how your alliance helps you so that you can grow and become stronger. And outside of alliance helps, one thing that you can do, of course, is migrate to another state. I'm in state 16. If I'm having a really hard time in state 16 because I'm getting beat on, or because I'm losing resources in war, or because I just can't seem to get ahead and my alliance isn't very helpful, which none of that's the case for me, but if that's the case for you, then you can always consider immigrating to another state. You can always do that down here by hitting the world map, and when you go into the world map, you can hit the map icon, and then at the very bottom left you'll see a world map, and the world map is all the states. So click on that and it will pull up all the states, and I have another video on immigration. I'll post a card in the video so that you can see and go there if that's something that you're interested in, instead of investing all that time into a secondary account just for farming purposes. At any rate, you can go in here, and even though I'm state 16, a lot of these states are open that are higher number. Now, this will set back some of the events and benefits that are released in my state, but outside of that, I should still have all the build-up that I have, and I can jump into a state that's not quite as built up, and maybe I'm a little bit stronger in that state. And then I don't have to worry so much about losing resources or not being the fastest builder. So in this way, I could always look at this state, and then of course it'll give you all the information required. And like I said, I have another video, go check that out. At any rate, make sure that you're doing everything you can in your main account to be the best that you can be. Watch my videos. Most of them are designed to help players build up and get stronger without having to put in the extra work of a second account, a farm account, or do anything that would violate the terms of service. At any rate, that's everything, guys. I hope it helps. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer the questions to the best of my ability. I just wanted to answer this very common question about farm accounts, secondary accounts. So thank you guys for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if it helped. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And as always, have a great day.